Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN said Monday that the Knicks and Barrett are finishing up a 4-year extension to his rookie contract that could be worth up to $120 million. Barrett will sign a rookie extension, making him the 5th player of the 2019 draft to do so. Darius Garland, Jay Morant, Zion Williamson, and Keldon Johnson have already done so. What does RJ Barrett's new deal with the New York Knicks mean for his future with the team and for their talks with the Utah Jazz about trading for all-star guard Donovan Mitchell?
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
New York bets on development rising cap. It's unusual for an extension worth about 75% of Barrett's maximum salary to be done this far before the deadline for rookie extensions, which is October 17th, the day before the NBA season starts. That seems to show how eager the Knicks are to make a deal with Barrett right now, paying him a lot for what he has done in the 3 NBA seasons. Barrett's value has been talked about in different ways because he plays in one of the league's biggest markets and scores a lot. Barrett's high-scoring average at age 21 and his hard work on defense will be used as proof by his fans. Skeptics would point out that Barrett's .511 true shooting percentage ranked 39th out of the 40 players who averaged at least 20 points per game. Only teammate Julius Randle had a lower true shooting percentage. We've seen similar arguments about top picks Harrison Barnes and Andrew Wiggins, who were also known as young players for playing a lot rather than being very good. Both players have found a place in the middle of the debate where they are good starters but not franchise players. Barrett's case is likely to end the same way. In addition of the free agent guard Jalen Brunson, who can create shots out of pick and rolls, should make it easier for Barrett to get back into the role that he had on New York's team that made the playoffs in the 2020-2021 season when he used the ball at least 23% and shot the best .535%. Barrett's three-point accuracy was 40%, but it dropped to 43% last season. On paper, giving a player who is, at best, a backup option up to $30 million a year seems like a lot, but the Knicks' investment needs to be seen in light of the fact that the NBA salary cap is likely to go up over the next 5 seasons. What options exist for a Mitchell trade? As soon as Barrett signs his new contract, he will be subject to the so-called poison pill rule of the NBA salary cap. This rule is meant to stop teams from giving players big raises in contracts just to trade them. Barrett's new contract won't start until July of next year. Until then, his salary with a new team like Utah will be the average of all 5 years of his contract, or about $26.2 million, while his salary with New York will stay at $10.9 million for the 2022-2023 season. Bobby Marks of ESPN said that it is possible to get around the poison pill rule by making the total salaries big enough that the $16 million difference between how Barrett counts and how the rule is written falls within the 25% margin on both sides. Or one of the two teams with a lot of unused cap space, the Indiana Pacers and the San Antonio Spurs, could take back a player like Evan Fournier. This would mean that Fournier's salary would count towards the Knicks' outgoing salary, but not towards the Jazz's incoming salary. New York set a deadline for negotiations so that Barrett could be traded before he was given a contract extension. If he's taken out of the Mitchell talks, the value for Utah changes, and they will likely ask for more of the Knicks' 8 tradable first-round picks. I'd rather have more draft picks than Barrett if I were the Jazz. Paying him on an extension makes less sense for a Utah team that has been playing like it's starting over instead of retooling around young players. Even if Barrett's contract turns out to be a good deal, the Jazz's future draft picks for the Rudy Gobert trade won't be ready to help them win over the next 5 years. Now the question is whether New York will give up enough picks to make Utah happy. If not before training camp, the Jazz will need to make more choices. What's next for Utah if trade talks end with New York? New York has been seen as the favorite to sign Mitchell because the team has a lot of draft picks and Mitchell wants to play in his home city. If the Knicks are out of the picture, even for a short time, Utah's situation changes. The Jazz could try to trade Mitchell with other teams again, but Mitchell's contract means that they don't have to make a deal right away. He has 3 more years before he can become a free agent if he doesn't take his player option for the 2025-2026 season. Utah can wait until the Mitchell market heats up again, which could happen if New York starts the season slowly. This could change how the Jazz trade for their other veteran players. If Mitchell gets traded, Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, and Bojan Bogdanovic don't make much sense on a Utah team that is trying to get better. If Mitchell stays, the Jazz might be happy to keep most of the core players from last season and wait until the trade deadline to make a decision. The Utah Jazz added Malik Beasley and Talon Horton-Tucker to the group of preeminent players. The Jazz are also short at center, with only Udoka Azubuike and rookie Walker Kessler being taller than 6 feet 9 inches. This means that there may be deals to be made either way. UCLA. But if Mitchell stays put, any expected fire sale by Utah might not happen. Moving on to related news. Highly sought-after NBA Academy talents star at BWB Africa Camp in Cairo. The 2022 Basketball Without Borders (BWB) camp in Cairo was put on by the NBA and the FIBA. The male MVP was Thierry Serge Darlin from the Central African Republic, and the female MVP was Jaina El Alfi from Egypt. Both of the NBA Academy players are being looked at by NCAA Division I schools, but neither has chosen a school yet. Darlin went to Santa Clara University in California not too long ago, while El Alfi has a lot of choices. She has already met with the University of Louisville. She could also go to UConn, Duke University, UCLA, the University of North Carolina, or the University of Michigan. She told ESPN that after BWB, she would fly to the US for more meetings. This week, there were 64 campers at BWB Africa. All of them were under 18 and came from 25 different African countries. Steve Kerr, coach of the Golden State Warriors, was the most famous staff member there. He picked El Alfi as his first pick in the BWB draft, and that girl's team went on to win. Still on Alfi's team at the age of 16, she gets to play with players who have played in the US college system. Chris Finch, Willie Green, Chauncey Billups, and Wes Unseld Jr., who are also head coaches in the NBA, joined Kerr. The camp was run by the president of the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri, a scout for the LA Clippers, Lance Blank, the general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mike Ganzi, and the president of the World Association of Basketball Coaches, Patrick Hunt. At the end of a busy week of basketball at the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall, the camp MVPs were chosen by NBA players, coaches, and directors who were there. Finally, Tigers coach Damian Hardwick slams goal review system. Damian Hardwick, the coach of Richmond, has criticized the AFL's goal review system, which led to a controversial loss for his team in the exciting elimination final. On Thursday, with 2 minutes left in the game and Melbourne up by 3 points over Brisbane, the goal umpire gave Tom Lynch's angled set shot a soft goal call before sending it up for review. The replay seemed to show that Tigers' kick went right over the goalpost, so they were given a behind. Instead of being up by 9 points, the call kept the game going until the Lions moved to the other end of the Gabba, and Joe Danier stole it with 64 seconds left. Hardwick was furious when the AFL Review Center said that the replay wasn't clear enough to change the result. He said, "I just feel the technology is not good enough and hasn't been for a long time. Clearly, it's indecisive still." Even Lions coach Chris Fagan said that he didn't know what would happen. Even though Lynch didn't celebrate like he had kicked it when he made 3 straight baskets before missing 2 in the last quarter, Hardwick didn't think that that was a big deal. The 3-time premiership coach said again that he had never liked the ARC and that unless it was perfect, the goal umpires should be the only ones to decide. During a game with 17 lead changes, Richmond had several chances to blow the game wide open. Even though Hardwick was proud of his team's effort, he was upset that they lost because of fundamental mistakes and because star midfielder Dion Prestia hurt his hamstring again right before halftime. Hardwick thought that Prestia's costly loss threw off his team's balance and put Dustin Martin in the middle more than they would have liked. That defeat probably sums up our year, he said. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for sticking with us till the very end. Cheers!